Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We've got a banger of a WTL series for you. The new season has started for 2023, and I'm a little bit late to get on board. We've got Spirit in the bottom right, Lambo in the top left, and it is a best of two. So this is coming in partway through a Shopify Rebellion up against SLT, Spirit's team. So it is currently 2-0 for Shopify Rebellion, which means, of course, one match has happened, and they've already won that match. And it is a best, two games get played, and essentially they all tally up to the total. So 3 players play 2 maps against each other, so it's not a best of 3. You don't necessarily beat the player. We get a lot of draws in these, but this match has come highly recommended. A lot of people have said, hey, Spirit versus Lambo, this was a really cool match. You got to check it out. And Spirit's already opening up with the command center first. Lambo went for a pool first opening, which is a little unfortunate. Very safe opening against proxy barracks, but not very good against command center first. Because even when your lings arrive across the map, command center's already finished. It can just lift up. You can't pick off any exposed SCVs, and especially with only 2 Zerglings, doesn't go that good for Lambo. Still very playable, of course. It's not a massive detriment compared to those other games where you go hatch first or anything like that. Just something to keep in mind is Spirit's got a bit of an economic head start. And it's Dragon Scales, which is a great map for command center first into big 2-base push, right? There are some juicy tank spots on this map. And here we go. Double orbital command center on the way behind this. Interesting to see where this goes. For those who don't know, if you've never watched one of my WTL casts, I can't improve the quality. I have to cast this off a feed. Check it out, guys. We've got it on 1080p there. So we have basically it's a feed that goes out live, and then I'm casting this after the match was live on a video recording of it. Which means I don't get to control the camera or anything like that, as it's hosted by the Chinese guys, the SC Boy crew over there, which is a group of famous commentators in China. And they host this league, which is just such a fantastic thing for the scene. We get to see a lot of the lesser-known players really perform for their team and often upset and surprise the big dogs. But hold on a second. Lambo's got a very quick roach warren. This is going to be a big roach pressure for him off 26 workers. Spirit's going 3rd command center into 3 racks. What? So Spirit's got, he's got Hellions building, but he's going to skip the starport. I don't know how this plays out. If he spots the roaches the moment they move out, he should be able to stop it reasonably well. But if he's building add-ons on all these barracks, not actually building anything but like 1 or 2 Marines and Hellions, those aren't the units you want. Roaches are just they're not going to be sneaky. I don't know, man. Lambo focusing on urgency over anything else. He's going to go for a delayed 6 roach pressure, morphing one into a Ravager. He's droning up behind it. Immediate swap off the add-ons. Factory says, I don't need Hellions. I need a barracks making more Marines on that reactor. Marauders on the way. Bunker is building up in the main base. But you know what? It's not that big a commitment. So maybe just getting a few SCVs, forcing him off the low ground for a while is enough to make this worth it for Lambo. Let's see how it plays out. SCVs quickly evacuating. Great decision-making for Spirit. Does lose only 1 SCV so far. And notice how that bile is not only hitting the barracks, but it's also hitting the depot. The Overlord providing high ground vision very nicely. Gonna pick off a few depots. Oh, but Spirit, very clever, realizes Lambo will be doing nothing but droning behind it. Aliens sneak on by. They get 1 drone, make it 2. A lot of the drones that are wounded retreat up the ramp. Good play here by Lambo. That minimized what could have been a very bad situation for him. Unfortunately for him, there are Marauders in the bunker. And oh my lord! This is still going! Oh, 5 drones in total going down. Lambo cannot be happy with this situation. He knows there's a 3rd command center up there. He knows that he needs more damage than this, but he also can't throw these units away for free. He does get a Marauder, almost. Oh my god, not quite. The Bile's chasing it off. Okay. As long as he gets out of there, that was a really good trade. He lost like 1 Roach for a few Marines and a Marauder. Get 1 more, that'd be great. He doesn't want to lose these Reddit point units though. He may be overcommitting right now. Lambo feels like he desperately needs a bit more damage, but he's gonna have to pull back there. And what do we got, guys? Lair is starting for him behind it. I think he's committed to mass roach play at this point. And Spirit on 3 command centers, only down 9 workers. Should feel good about how that went. The problem, of course, with Spirit is things don't line up. Because he's prioritizing medevacs, that means, well, where's your engineering base? He needs double gas on the natural. It goes down now, and then 2 engineering bays behind that. And he needs to keep up SCV production. Spirit's only been building 2 SCVs this whole time. He forgot to control group his 3rd command center, would be my guess. He does start a third SCV now, but still back down to 2 SCV production. Yeah, he's not. So it seems like Spirit's prioritizing gases, eBay's marine production. He's not building SCVs. This is a huge mistake for Spirit in this scenario. Even now, he's only building 2 SCVs at a time. He could be building 3. So what should have been relative parity in the income is now looking really good for Lambo economically. But on the army front, oh, he went down there a bit too early. He tried to get on top of the drop, and he didn't have the numbers to do it. He does take out one of the medevacs. The Bile's trying to scare back Spirit. If he could kill this other medevac, that'd be great. But right now, the Queens are kind of spreading their damage a little too thin. More roaches coming out. Lambo has a 14 worker lead. If he can stabilize, this is not too bad. Marauders, they kill roaches quick. They kill buildings quick. They don't kill drones that quick. They damage a few. They don't really kill anything. Roach, oh, the Marauder barely survives there. But you know what? 1-1's on the way. Lambo's is in a very playable position now. And the worker count still only at 54 for Spirit. This is very uncharacteristic because Spirit is all about macro and harassment normally. He's very good at macroing, being greedy and defensive. He's very good at harassing with drops here and there. The one thing he struggles on is frontal pushes. And I've said this for a long time and I'll keep saying it. I know I sound like a broken record, but for those who aren't familiar with Spirit, he's known to get ahead and then sometimes either miss the window when he could push or push a little bit disorganized and let his opponent get the jump on him and turn the game around. That was a kill, not a cancel. Lambo. Oh, he's got good supply, but losing the 4th base really limits your options. And look at that, there's a bunker building. Spirit's like, hey, if I kill your 4th, like, you can't macro up. You kind of have to be aggressive with these roaches. That's already something Terran players are fearful of, is the 1-1 roach timing. I'm going to non-stop build tanks and bunkers and marines and stuff now, and I wouldn't be surprised if the tanks all clump up behind the bunkers at the 3rd base. He tries to keep most of his army there, and then just keeps 1 or 2 drops out on the map to be a bit of a distraction. He's sending another drop out the left side. So it looks like he wants double drop in the bottom left, single drop in the top right. He's got to be careful though. 1-1 and roach speed is almost here. You kind of have forced Lambo to all in as Spirit, and yet he's keeping so much army on the other side of the map. This is not, I don't think this is very clever for Spirit. He needs to be more active with those drops because otherwise the Roach Ravager will run in. He's got nothing guarding his tanks. There's 2 bunkers and nothing else at the 3rd. I wish we could get a shot of it, but of course, as I said, I don't control the camera. Marine drop on the right will get dealt with. Okay, he pulls back a lot of Lambo's units. Lambo's going to try and continue with some. This could work out really well for Spirit. It's a dangerous move, man. But he gets 9 workers, and I think he can just pull out and get out. But whatever, there's an attack on the other side. Observer, please. Observer, please. Okay, I don't know if he killed any tanks. Oh, the tanks are so safe. He had the tanks in the natural. Spirit actually played this really smart, guys. I was saying his tanks were all out front at the 3rd, but he actually knew that this was a risky drop. So he put his tanks in his natural expand, realizing I might have to lift my 3rd and run the SCVs away. But if I have to do that, then the tanks are going to keep me alive in the natural. I can retake my 3rd while doing good damage on the other side, and we'll be all right. Now that he shuts that down, Spirit can move out, secure his 3rd properly. He's got an upgrade advantage. He's starting 2-2 earlier, so he's not an upgrade advantage, but he's ahead on starting the upgrades. He will have one eventually. Tanks are pretty far forward there, but that's kind of surprising to have the tanks in that position. I think Lambo might be surprised by that. He's going to come in. Interesting overlay there. Didn't really get a chance to process that information, but Roach Ravager here poking on forward. Here we go. Bunkers, tanks, bio. He's going to start a step into the Roach Ravager, avoiding the biles. A dangerous move, but if he's got the numbers, it can pay off in the big time, especially with those tanks shelling in the rear. They did a lot of damage, and it feels like Lambo, he's just making Roach Ravager. I think Lambo might be... Oh, actually, he's only on 59 drones. He didn't rebuild any workers after the drop in the main. I was going to say Lambo might think he's more all-in than he actually is, but no, I agree, Lambo. Holding down the Roach key is probably your best bet. The problem is, Spirit keeps scanning the army and realizing you're doing nothing but reinforcing army. As long as Spirit knows that's your only goal in this game, is just make Roach and hope to catch the Terran out, he could just, lift this, run the SCVs away, and just, oh, look at that. Triple drop in the north. As long as Spirit can hold it home, this is game over. Nothing at home to defend that. Lambo's going for it. Lambo's going for it. But look at that tank in the natural. If that one sieges up as well, it'd be great. It's not siege. Those tanks doing okay. It's a lot of Roach Ravager. Oh, man. This is looking like an all right fight for Lambo, actually. I wish those tanks had repositioned to a safer spot. All the tanks are going to go down. And I think Spirit, he really just needed to survive in this game. He went for the high-risk counterattack option. Oh, those engineering bays going down would be okay. Lambo's going to go for the ramp, though. He wants to move up the ramp. A tank getting sieged on that high ground with SCVs in front is so hard to break. But Lambo feels desperate because he's taking massive damage at home. But look at that, Marines and SCVs holding the ramp. It's so hard to break ramps with Roach Ravager like this. And that tank in the back is doing the Terran Lord's work. The God Emperor Mengsk himself has a bit of a stiffy looking at that siege tank. It killed 6 roaches, but it did so much splash damage to all the rest of them as well. 6 kills doesn't really reflect just how much it did. I think the drop on the other side may have been cleaned up. The supply is actually pretty similar. Lambo did some good damage, but against 3 orbitals with a 4th command center in the bottom left as well, he needs more than that. 2-2 has now kicked in, and 11 Marines, 1 siege tank on the way. Planetary building on the left side looking fantastic. The Roaches did 10,000 damage. The Marines did 17,000 damage in that last fight, and more fighting is going on right now. The friendly fire, there's actually a lot of friendly fire in that fight, but it was mostly stim pack. That is a hilarious overlay. I really want to go back and analyze that at the end of this game quickly. I don't know when this game's going to end, though. This could be going for a little while longer. Lambo's just not droning at all, though. So it truly is a, I want to catch you out of position. The Marines come out. Lambo's going to jump on him. Planetary is alive, though. It's up now. It's erect, turgid. And, oh, he's going to go in. The Marines will come a bit late in here. The Roach Ravager will be able to clear out some of the tanks, but he doesn't have the numbers to capitalize. And Spirit there. An almost smile for the impassive Spirit. All right, that was a sick game 1 from Spirit. Now down here in the bottom left side, fighting back for SLT. And in the top right, we've got Shopify Rebellion. Lambo. Did you guys know Lambo's human name is Julian Brosig? That's right, guys. He is a literal bro in both name and in character. You challenge this man to a game of foosball. He's going to get real competitive real fast. To be fair, I just described every German person ever. Man, you give a German a beer and you show them the table with the little soccer dudes on it and the spinny sticks, and oh my god, they get excited. I never knew until I was playing. I don't know if it was Lambo or someone else, but I always grew up doing the spinny thing on the foosball table. They do not like that. Apparently that's not in the rules. I would always spam that, man. I would always spam the spinnies. Apparently that's cheating. I was like, you guys don't like the skillless spamming technique? That was like my entire childhood, man. Command center first again. Altitude's a really big map. I know a lot of Terrans hate playing this first Zerg because it's so big, but I think mech's not too bad. Like battle mech can be good. I also think Spirit's just so good with his harassment. If you do a lot of biomine kind of multi-prong, it can definitely go in your favor. Julian in German should be pronounced Julian. Ja, Julian. And for those who don't know, if you say Julian in Spanish, the J becomes like a H. So it's hooligan, because he's a football fanatic who is known to light cars on fire and smash bus stops if his local football team does lose. So he's your very uncharacteristic StarCraft nerd. All of these are definitely science facts and true facts about him. Spirit, on the other hand, his pastimes, he likes long walks on the beach, reading Shakespeare, and complaining about Protoss. To be fair, though, I would be hard-pressed to find a non-Protoss Polish player who doesn't spend 80% of their time complaining about Protoss. If you guys know one out there, any Zerg or Terran player who's GM Plus from Poland who doesn't spend their days complaining about Protoss, I would love to meet them. A Laser, Inertio, and Spirit, some of my favorite Polish players, and for them, it is a very heavy passion of theirs, complaining about how unfair the laser units are. Reaper's gonna go out here. Ling's coming down that left side of the map. This is a lot of Zerg. Ling's coming with Ling speed. This could do big damage. The Reaper spots it coming in. He should realize what's happening. Maybe pull the SCVs. If he gets the SCVs up the ramp, he'll be okay. He might not realize what it is, though. Oh, he doesn't. He didn't pull. He didn't pull the boys. Uh-oh. Oh, no. That's a lot of boys. He could try to mineral walk to the main, but he doesn't. He tries to fight that Reaper. He does do a nice little grenade there. Reaper gets to the high ground. 5 SCVs. A great start for Lambo. He also got a fresh mule. And, oh, nice focus fire. Oh, Spirit was focusing the weak Zergling there. You could see he tried to target that red hit point one, but it barely got away. He actually had specifically targeted the weak one. I love how good these players are with their micro these days in 2023. I always like when I say the letter H, by the way, and there's always a lot of Americans who are like, he just pronounced the letter. For a country that pronounces their letters so well, usually, you'd think the one time I do pronounce the whole word, you guys wouldn't be so critical, but there's always, every time I say it, there's at least one, usually 5 in Twitch chat, like, H, oh my god. To be fair, it's probably the same thing when I hear Cho Chang. You get a bit giddy when you hear people speak your language a bit different to you, right? Like, Scottish people are some of my favorite. I hear Cho Chang and I'm like, ooh, Harry, ooh. I'm giggling instantly. I don't know why. It's just so novel to me. It's freaking good, man. This is, once again, multiple barracks follow-ups. This is, like, pretty old school, 3cc. And it's actually quite hard to kill these builds with any sort of rush because there's just so many Marines out so early. This was kind of the standard 4 years ago. I feel like 2019 was kind of when everyone was going like 4 Hellions, and then just you got your 3 barracks, and you just go up, add the starport a bit later, and you just have a ton of Marines coming out. Extra gases on the way as well. Lair coming in pretty early for Lambo, so I'm kind of trying to keep in track of like what Lambo's goal is. It's kind of fascinating because for me, playing a standard macro game versus Terran on this map is just a nightmare. There's just too much ground to cover with creep. It's too hard to defend your bases because they're spread so thin. But that's because I'm a bad StarCraft player who doesn't actually have the skill of Lambo. Lambo's very solid in macro games, and I wonder, is he going to use a lot of backsteps? I feel like attacking is easier on this map than defending. I guess that's what I'd say, is because the bases are spread out so much, I feel like the attacker is almost always favored a little bit. But doing a direct frontal push takes a long time to get across. It's in wide open areas where it can get flanked. So I guess in general, nimble positioning and abusing momentum is a good way to use aggression. Straight up committed frontal tank pushes, I really dislike on this map. There are some really good tank spots, but it's in such an expanse where the opponent can just pull back and choose not to fight you and force your tanks into a more exposed area. Oh, here we go. Double drop going down the left side. So that's going to see if it can start to clear the creep a little bit. Now, this is an interesting point. Whenever the Marine drop pressure starts, guys, you want to look at the worker count. If it's off 3 command centers like this, you want the Zerg to be about where Lambo is. 70 plus workers, because now they have to focus on nothing but Ling Bane, pulling their queens to the front, and actually losing 2 drones already. He's a bit low on units. Oh god, oh god. Lambo does lose a queen. Another queen goes down. That one's going to go down as well. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, man. Oh, me, oh, my. Lambo was caught with his pants down being way too greedy. Oh, I mean, he's looking a little frustrated on the camera, but pretty focused. Oh, my God. Spirit just focused down every Baneling as well. Now, one of the medevacs got focused down by the queen, so we could only save 1 medevac worth of units, but that was still a near-perfect push for Spirit. Lambo is up against the ropes, and now he's basically relying on the massive space on this map to give him enough time to recover. His Bane speed's done. His 1-1 is on the way. 1-1 is very late for Spirit. That is an interesting build for him because he's very late on that, and now he's going to 6 barracks, which is bizarre. He's got a very interesting kind of, setup on his production. No 4th command center. He's just continuing to attack. Those tanks out on that left side, the Marines and Aliens don't want to overextend. He's going to get flanked. Lambo, oh man, I'm so critical of so many players for not setting up flanks properly lately, but Lambo has the perfect flank coming in from the bottom. And look at that, the Lings and the Banelings giving nowhere for the Marines to run, but not only that, they surround the tanks instantly and gun them down. That was beautiful, and it's not that hard to set up a flank. When someone's taking their time pushing you on an angle like that, I really feel every Zerg should take a leaf out of Lambo's book and do what he just did. He needs a few more fights like that to feel completely secure in this game. But he's evicting Spirit's drop from that position. Spirit's going for the random double Liberator. He loves doing this. This is all about taxing your opponent's APM and actions a little bit. And Lambo is going to deal with it, but he will lose a couple of units. The Queen on the natural barely survives. Does lose a few drones. And oh, the drop surprises him. As Lambo is busy dealing with that, the drop comes in. And Spirit says, I know this takes a bunch of APM to deal with, so surprise! Goes in with a drop, gets 10 drones. And Lambo is going to be very irritated by that, because that's an obvious move. As a pro, you know the Liberators are a distraction. They're not really a killing blow or anything like that on their own. You should not be taking that much damage. Yet Lambo did, and that makes things rather awkward. It is 1-1 upgrades versus 0-0 with +2 carapace started. Lambo's still in a very healthy supply position. but he's lost all creep control on the left side of the map. The creep is stalled out through the middle and right of the map. Remember what I said about there's so much ground to cover with creep, it's really hard. I'm going to be keeping my eye on how well Lambo not only recovers his workers, which he's done a good job of, he's still on 78, but also how well he spreads creep as the game goes on. A lot of Zergs tense up on these big maps because they don't have, it's so much ground to cover. There's a lot less information you have because there's just so much space you don't have information over. And they stop spreading creep properly, but he's doing a decent job so far. We'll see if he can keep it up. Double drop in the main. Hive does start in the face of this. Spawning pool will go down. He's already started a new spawning pool somewhere else on the map. And interestingly, Spirit's gone 3 factories. He's got 2-2 on the way, a 5th command center building in front of his 4th command center. I think we'll see a tech lab and a reactor. We see 1 tech lab building, no reactor just yet on the 3rd factory. But I imagine Widow Mines or Hellbats out of 1, tanks out of the rest. And then he'll probably be going into Ghosts after that as well. Marines are coming on forwards. Just going to keep picking off whatever he can. I mean, Spirit's doing a great job of making this annoying for Lambo. And it's games like this that really make you as a Zerg wonder why you don't just build Mutalisks on maps that are this big. You're like, maybe I should just be doing that, man. Oh, I like that, guys. He broke the rock tower. That collapses these rocks, kills the watchtower on the map. Otherwise, the watchtower is indestructible. He breaks these rocks, and that's going to allow Lambo to take the gold base. Not too often these games get long enough on this map to actually see that mechanic get used. For those who don't know, you can actually make it so the rocks don't appear. If you build the hatchery first, let the hatchery get 500 or more hit points. And as long as it's blocking where those rocks come in, you can, when you collapse it, the rocks will kill the watchtower, but the rocks themselves will not be able to materialize. It'll do 500 damage to your hatchery, but the hatchery survives, and there's no space with a hatchery there for the rocks to come down, so it does the damage, kills the tower, but doesn't actually kill your hatchery, which is really cute. Ling Bane going in for a swarm on the left side of the map. Big counterattack on the right, though he doesn't have enough Banelings over there, I don't think. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, Spirit is playing a dirty diving style. I've told you guys, Spirit's specialty is multitasking harassment. He's so good at it. We don't ever really see anyone use the bang ledge there. I do kind of miss it. I feel like a bunch of Marines, 6 Marines maybe can fit on that. And they would have been very annoying for the Queen Ling Bane to deal with. There's only 1 Queen there. 5th command center going down in the bottom right side. It's morphing into a planetary. 3 more command centers building drilling claws. 2-2's not quite done yet, so the upgrade advantage is there for Lambo as he starts +3 carapace, Hydroden, and an Ultra Cavern. Hydroden's always a curious one in this scenario. Adding a few Hydras to deal with Libs and Medevacs can be nice. They can kill tanks as well, but you don't want too many. They're expensive, they're rather slow, and definitely not the answer on their own to tanks or ghosts. Speaking of which, the Ghost Academy is now on the way. Lambo's respreading creep on every path, guys. The only one is the top right, where I don't see any active creep tumors right now. He's going to come in for an attack. Going for this is very ballsy. This is, oh, massive link flank from the left. Massive link flank. Lambo catches Spirit there. His army comes over to defend. Great play. The Banelings will finally finish off that planetary. And he does keep Spirit on 4 base, but 4 base Terran's still fine. If you knock him back to 3 bases at this stage, that's where his income really drops. 4 bases is okay. He's got mass command center. He can float a new one out. That's not the end of the world for Spirit, but I do think a lot of the important units got taken down, and overall a great trade for Ling Bane. Viper's on the way as well as Ultras right now. Ultra Ling Bane is so good mobility-wise, and on this map, it's all about mobility, because if you attack that far left, bam, a lot of Terran has to move there. You then attack the far right with another half of your army. Hard for Terran to keep up. Lambo's on 92 workers, Spirit only on 76 right now. How does Spirit plan on finishing this game, I wonder? I feel like he's just going to turtle it out. I don't think at this stage you want to keep shoving. Just get your ghost count up, add more planetaries, add more orbitals, wait for the Zerg to throw their armies into the meat grinder. You don't really need to make the play. You know, it's the Zerg who's like, oh god, I gotta go do something about this. On the other hand, it's also the Zerg who has so much map control for so long that they have a crazy amount of money. They can be rather inefficient for the next 5 to 7 minutes. Once you get past about 20 minutes in the game, usually about then is when the money starts to dry up and the Zerg starts to go, oh god, I really need to kill him now because I'm running out of money. And the Zerg will be trading worse than the Terran. Bottom right side, Massling goes in, Massling pulls back. Left side, Ling Bane goes in. Oh, that bunker placement was great. A bunch of Banelings just blew up on a random depot on the left side. Can't say that was the most elegant attack, but gets rid of a few tanks, blows up a few SCVs. Spirit actually saves more than I expected. And the attack's going to try to go in on the right, trying to hope that he F2'd, but Spirit did not F2. He kept a big pack of bio here. He was hoping to catch siege tanks on their own and not much else. The bio comes over though, and the bio deals with the Zerglings. Tanks deal with the banelings really well and anything else, and they obviously shoot from far. They are exposed to those fast-moving Zerglings. Sensor tower goes down as well as some more units. I like the in and out from Lambo right now. I can tell this man, I mean, you know, being a football hooligan, not the most surprising. But obviously hanging out with that crew does learn the life lessons. You usually have a few friends who didn't pull out in time, and the life, you know, the match does change sometimes in unexpected ways when that happens. Lots of consequences that one doesn't consider when they're a young lad, but Lambo is now a veteran. Widowmine does take out a few lings, a lot of SCVs in the red. You can see, yeah, I think he needs a few Hellbats over here. +1 vehicle weapon starting, but Spirit has not swapped into Hellbats yet. He's going to need a few Hellbats mixed in to deal with these Zerglings. Oh me, oh my. Here comes the Blinding Cloud attack. Good Blinding Clouds, but too much bio. Good pullback for Lambo. Could have maybe been a second or two faster. He's attacking on the left as well. I love that he's just consistently being a bag of Zerg to the face. You know, a big bag of tentacles hitting Spirit in the face, trying to just catch him out, catch him out, catch him out. He's going to go for it again on this right side. Blinding Cloud on the bio. The bio has to pull back. The Banelings blowing up on the tank is not very pretty, but the planetary goes down. That's kind of what matters there. Not enough ghosts nearby to catch the Ultras, but he's going to go north and catch him. Oh god, the Ultra's going to get caught in the retreat. Ultra's going to get caught in the retreat. Oh, no, 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 no. Where are the snipes? Pop, 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 pop. 2 Ultras go down. Very nice move for Spirit there. Great killer instinct. Realizing Lambo went a bit too deep. And oh, the Liberator kills a Viper. Another one pretty damn damaged right now. Counterattack on the left side for Spirit. A few Zerglings going to go over there. Lambo's got to maintain this economic advantage, or this swarming over the Terran approach will not work. I'd love to see check-ins on the units lost tab as well, but of course, usually when we're in these long games, unless the casters in the language of the observer ask for it, it doesn't happen. And it's so important in these long late game ZvTs to see the cost efficiency of both players. Oh, massive Widowmine hits on the picture-in-picture in the bottom right of your screen, guys. That is down on the left side base. They do get in there and evict the base once again from the mining, but the Ghost Sword Cloak, there's no detection. The Banelings get popped, and dude, these trades suck for Lambo. He's still up in bank, and he's denying bases and economy. Bottom right. Oh my god. Oh, the planetary finishes just in time. He could have lost a lot of SCVs if that was even 5-10 seconds later. But Spirit is keeping his bases up. Oh god, Mass Ling though. Mass Ling, Ultra Bane coming in behind. Oh no, Spirit is back to 4 bases. Lambo's done it. Lambo's swarmed him. I think Lambo may have this game in the bag. He's losing a lot of queens. That's his anti-air. Uh-oh. If he loses those, Spirit is a scrappy boy with his drops. You do not want to lose all your anti-air. He'll drop around the back constantly. Gold base is going to try and get taken here by Spirit. It looks like single Marauder drop gets cleaned up on the left side of the map. Spirit's down to 53 workers. And even though Lambo's been grossly cost inefficient, because he maintained a big enough economy, and because there was a few moments where there was no Hellbats to deal with the Zerglings, the Zergling run bays have been, they're such cheap expendable units. They keep finding economic damage, which makes it well worth it, especially in a game where you're happy to trade probably 2-to-1 cost inefficiency as long as you keep the Terran off expanding to new bases. Here we go, guys. Ling Bane Ultra Viper moving down that right side. Oh god, oh god, oh god. This is getting very, very dirty for Spirit because he has so little economy, he can't lose this. Gotta cancel that. Oh no, so many SCVs in the open. Spirit's got to give up that left base and just focus his whole army on this right side. He cannot guard that left base. It doesn't have enough minerals to be worth it either. Oh my god, his tanks are kind of caught out. A couple of abducts could be great here. I think just a... Oh, Lambo's going... No, Lambo. No! Lambo! He's headbutting into a choke point right now. It might pay off. The Ultras get on top of the tanks. Oh my god! He's got the numbers! I thought he was chucking a bit of a Zerg there, finding the strongest point of defense and headbutting to his doom, but he cleared a lot of tanks. Oh! But he does take a big cost for it. Lambo looks frustrated. He knows he just overextended. And not only did he take a kind of somewhat questionable army fight, it's this damage on the counter that he left himself open to. He's going to lose 2 mining bases. Ooh, he can transfer those drones to the bottom left. He's still got that new base there, but he's got to rebuild these hatcheries. And guess what? Lambo's bank is gone. And when you're a Zerg in this scenario, you're being really wasteful. Your bank being gone makes you feel desperate because you don't know what Spirit supplies. If he could see it was 200 versus 130, he would go win the game right now. He'd just headbutt. Spirit is planning a triple drop plus double Liberator into the main. Oh, Spirit's going for the tech. Spirit's like, I'm pretty dead. Let's go. YOLO! He's going to hit this economy. Lib's coming in as well as a triple drop. He's going to try and put Lambo on the defensive and build back up at home. Buy himself time to recover. It's mostly ghosts in here. They don't do much damage to the hatchery. Ghosts are pretty low damage units overall. Nice pickup there on those units. Double drop on the left side as well. Lambo, he's rebuilt the gold base, but not the other ones. The Viper's trying to deal with this. The Queen's, abduct on the Liberator, but every Viper! All 3 Vipers just went down, but the Ultras do get on top, and the Queen, if she moves to the left, she'll be alright, but she doesn't. Does clean up all of those drops, though, and I think Lambo might have held on good enough. Spirit has done all of his dirty tricks with the libs, the harassment to be annoying. The supply count is being maintained. The advantage is being maintained. Lambo's down to 66 workers, but he's got a fair amount of mineral patches coming back online. He's mining maybe 7 mineral patches right now, if even. He's actually not mining much. Spirit has way more mineral income coming up. You can see it on the bottom. About 1,200 minerals more a minute coming in. Tanks are going to deal with that. Widow Mine does take that. I'd like to see Overseers coming to clean those Widow Mines up on the next bust on that side. Drop does come in there. Lings and Drop kind of staring at each other, making mean faces. Oh, those Red Hit Point Marines stimmed into just a few Zerglings, and they all got taken out. Widow Mine does fire, and the new 5th base in the bottom right, that's going to probably be Lambo's next target. That fresh base for Terran is giving him a lot of income. Lambo's income, you can see, is creeping up now that his gold base is finishing. A lot of his drones are still long-distance mining that, but they'll start closer mining it soon. And Lambo, he's moving in. If he gets rid of the 5th base, it's a massive win for him, but Liberator sieging his gold. He's going for it. Big Fungal Spear, I wasn't watching! Oh no, he didn't have a sensor tower. He was not watching at a crucial moment of inattention. A Lambo pounces, drops that big goopy green fungal all over that bio. Ghosts and Ruins at Liberators are doing massive damage on the other side. Spirit's got 2 libs killing 15 drones. His libs and bio ghosts take out a bunch of ultras, but new infestors come in and fungal boys throwing those bad boys in. Widow Mine's taking out a lot of Zerglings. Oh god, Lambo losing a lot of units. He's down to just 90 army supply versus 84. There's a lot of orbitals. If Spirit relands a base, he could be good. Down to 57 workers is Lambo. And these libs are just such a pain. He doesn't have any mobile anti-air. He's building 3 Hydras right now because he doesn't have any Queens left over. Ling's running into the army. Unfortunate for Lambo. Loses a lot of those Zerglings. I'd actually like to see him keep hitting the natural. Kind of go up that ramp in between the natural 3rd and 4th base. Just go up there in the production and see what you can do. Avoid the expansions on the edge. Oh, big Widow Mine lands on those Zerglings. Nice hits here. Tank, a bio, lib moving forward. Lambo's down 15 army supply. He's going to lose 2 important bases. He does get his drones out. He's got a base on the right that he can mine from. Spirit doesn't have a lot of mining right now, but oh man, I mean, Lambo's just not got income. Spirit's income pretty bad as well. In the mineral tab, we see 900 minerals a minute for Spirit. Lambo on 700. And those numbers, I feel, are going to be going down. But Spirit does take a command center on the left. If he gets that up mining for the next minute, he will be out mining Lambo significantly. Mining for Lambo, his 3rd and 4th have, I believe, 3 mineral patches between them. A couple hundred minerals, maybe 1,000 at most. He's got a new fresh base on the right side, but that's about it. Oh, he's going to neural a siege tank. Widow Mines get deactivated and gets a tank. Cleans up some Widow Mines. Watch out for that Widow Mine on the right side. Spirit's defenses have mostly pulled back. He's going to send a double drop down the right side. One of those drops only 2 Marines in it. Oh! Neural's a lib! Quickly unsieges it though, which was a bit of an odd choice, and tries to siege to kill the enemy units there. He does take out a ghost. No, it gets picked up at the last second. He's neuraling the libs. He's stealing his libs. Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself, says Lambo. Spirit says, take your tentacles back. Keep them to yourself. Didn't your parents ever teach you to keep your hands to yourself? I do not consent. Right now, of course, I think both of these players are just trying to fight with these last armies. That economy cannot go down. Spirit needs to defend that economy, but I don't know if he can hold against this number of ultras. One ultra falls, another one pops like pimples getting taken out by someone who's had just too many days staring at that big bursty boy. Too many ultras just went down. I don't know if that was good for Lambo. He gets a base and 13 SCVs. It's good, but he loses so much army. The army is so much bigger for Spirit. Maybe he can just counterattack. The double drop denying the base on the right side means Lambo has next to no income. I really have doubts about this. This game could go either way. I thought Lambo had this in the bag a while ago, but now it feels like it could go either way, down to the wire. The drop takes out the bathing nest and a hatchery. A few Hydras are building. Lambo knows he needs something that shoots up. Ooh, medevac dying to the spore crawler. That is not what you want as Spirit right now. Spirit's going to keep floating command centers out. They've both got plenty of gas in the bank, but the minerals are very much missing. Abduct comes into the Hydras. Oh, Lambo with the double abduct. The Viper Hydra is so good in the low economy scenario. Spirit knew his units were trapped, so he turned around and took out a Hydra before he went down. But that was a huge catch. Those drops have just been ruining Lambo for so long. And finally, Spirit gets punished for it. I think this was the move Lambo was missing this whole time, is have enough Vipers and Hydras to actually just shut these drops down. They're flying over creep in your vision the entire game. But of course, because he played that more Ling Bane focused, very ground focused style with just a few queens, very immobile anti-air, couldn't really punish it too hard. But now in the low economy scenario, he does. He ties up the army supply, and those fungal boys are the goats of low economy situations. There's a turret just to the right. Careful, Lambo. Careful, Lambo. He might go too close. Oh, he pops it up. He lands a fungal, but it's not the biggest. He lands a few more. He doesn't have the follow through. Lambo, no! No! Oh, the pre-spread for Spirit was good. He knew that could happen. And all of the infestors are going to go down. Parasitic Bomb takes out a medevac. But Lambo just lost so many units. Lambo's actually got a lot more mining than Spirit right now. He abducts a Marauder and tries to kill it with the Hydras. He needs to run away. He's trying to make a Lurkadon and Zerglings right now. He needs to run away and get more Viper energy. Lambo is in big trouble. He abducts a Ghost, but he loses 2 Vipers to Snipes. Oh no, Spirit is on the warpath with this army. He's got a new base mining on the left as well, so they've got very similar income. This Viper has full energy. The Viper has full energy. He's going to go for it. He abducts a Ghost, takes it out, abducting the Ghost and running away. Lambo, the Abduct Master. Hot diddly damn. Okay, here we go. One more abduct going to go down, but he abducts it to the Hydras. It does go down pretty quickly. Hydras, drones being forced to pull. Spirit focusing down the Hydras as they are the bigger damage dealers. Lings are coming in with these drones, and he has to pick up. Lambo barely hangs on to this mining base. Lambo just let out a huge exasperated sigh. I think he looks kind of confused. He doesn't know if he's dead or not. He knows this is a rough situation. As we get those stats on the screen, 12,000 resources of friendly fire from Stims. Zerg, of course, 49 friendly fire damage from a Hydralisk actually attacking his own unit. The Hive goes down. Lambo doesn't have that Viper tech anymore. Oh my lord. Oh my lordy, lord. 1,200 minerals coming in a minute at the moment for Spirit. Mules are pretty good in these sort of games. Losing tech is so bad. Oh no, he can't build Infestors. He can't build Zerglings or Hydras. Lambo spends his money on Hydras before that goes down. I don't know if he has any Vipers. 18 Ultras, 8 Infestors, 15 Hydras, 787 Zerglings, and 5 Infestors have gone down in this game. 8 Infestors, sorry, and 7 Vipers, 14 Queens. Meanwhile, 33 Marauders, 30 Ghosts, 194 Marines, 8 Liberated, 21 Siege Tanks, 113 SCVs to 73 drones this game. And he's got to defend this base. Lambo's got the Hydras. He gets a medevac. Spirit went too deep. He goes in with the drop, but the Hydra count is too good. Spirit. Oh, I think he was actually in an okay position because he's got mules and this is the only mining base. But now Spirit, you can see the tilt of the head. He's literally tilted, realizing he just gave away half of his army. He could have joined it up with all these other Marines, these Liberators, and that would have been really difficult for Lambo to deal with. But now he's exasperated and he's going in on his own. We already know there's an answer to this. He saw the Viper, didn't he? I thought he did. Oh, the Abducts coming in and these Libs. I mean, they don't actually die. One of them does, the other one survives. But you can't be splitting your army up like this. You could tell Spirit's a bit frustrated with how he's playing it now. There's only 3 Hydras, 16 Zerglings, 3 Infestors, and a Viper. This is a nothing army for Lambo. 31 army supply. It will take God tier plays. And Spirit walks into the fungal. Spirit has double the army supply. But he's tilted. He can't think straight. He's too frustrated at these moves, guys. He still has a crazy rally. He's got to just stay calm. He's got a mining base. If he gets rid of this base, it's game over. There's no meat and potatoes to Lambo's army. But he's abducting these units one at a time. Lambo taking out the Liberators. The single Lurker standing in his way. He might not even have scans to deal with it. It's just Spellcasters. Infestors, Vipers, a Lurker. Lambo also looks so frustrated as well. This is basically both playing is at the edge of their limits for like 20 units straight. Lambo had to cancel his hatchery in the bottom right side. 28-minute games so far, but the last 20 minutes have been crazy intense. I mean, Spirit still has a giant army advantage, but Lurkers, Infestors, and Vipers are all out now. Pre-spread is definitely the way to do it. Does Spirit just float? I think he could float a command center out to one of these other bases as well. Oh, abduct! Abduct! Lambo! He says, why are you hitting yourself? But Spirit this time a bit too quick. He says, I'm not hitting myself, idiot. And does lose the Liberator. So still a good fungal, neural parasite going in there. Oh my lord. Man, who wins? Lambo's back up in army supply. He's got 21 Zerglings, 2 Hydras now. Another 24 Zerglings building. His income seems to be a little lower right now, but that could just be temporary mules. I don't know on average who's ahead in income, right? Lambo's income is down 500 minerals, right? That seems really bad for Lambo. He doesn't have a new base coming up, whereas Spirit does. Oh! He neurals the ghost and EMPs the other ghosts. Okie dokie, no scan to deal with that. Very nice. Abduct comes in and fungal, and he doesn't want to chase. He damages a ghost there for a neural and a fungal, or an abduct and a fungal. This is a wild game. Rebuilding his tech right now is Lambo, trying to get up that tech. I think he wants a Hydra Den most likely, because I think with the Infestors and the Vipers, Hydras are definitely the way to do it. Sets off a Widow Mine. That one tries to unburrow burrow trick, but Lambo gets it before it can re-burrow and target anything. Bunkers going up on the D. I think he needs a turret. I think a turret has got to be the most important thing for Spirit in this game. I also think, isn't that far left base only an orbital, guys? I think it's an undefended orbital. So I feel like if Lambo actually, yeah, he's been ignoring it this whole time. He does send the Zerglings over. He finds it. He's like, wait a second, why have I not been backstabbing? Lambo was too frustrated to think about backstabbing for a while. He does it. He crushes a large portion of Spirit's economy. Spirit, though, is consistently just obsessively harassing. Liberator's coming in as well. He's going to try and siege the ramp to defend itself. The Infestors, once again, can do the old tentacle into the heart of the Liberator, bring that into the Hydras, and those Hydras will very slowly pick it off. I don't know if he has a lair or if he made a Baneling nest. I really don't know what that tech structure was for Lambo. I imagine he wants Hydras. With only 2 Hydras that can shoot up right now, that's rough. He's going to break down these rocks, is Mr. Spirit. Not a bad move, but he kills his own SCV. No, his SCV barely slides out of there in time. Dead supply, 30 minutes into the game. Dead even in supply. 31 workers for Spirit, 29 for Lambo. But of course, there is at least 4 orbitals on the map, which is a big income advantage as long as Spirit can secure the bases to mine from, which is where he's weaker because he's not as mobile. This base is going to get taken out. Get up the production, Lambo. I like that Lambo's not committing too hard here. He's just going in with some Zerglings, but I'd love to see him commit a bit harder into the production. That's always the big weak point of a Terran in these low economy late games, because their army is centered around these distant bases on the edges of their map, you know? And these expansions, while they're very well defended, it's hard to defend and entrench there and entrench at your natural at the same time. So I'd love to see Lambo use the maneuvering, because if you take out that production, Terran has to spend so much money to rebuild. Lair is now rebuilding. Lambo's rebuilding hatcheries. He's realizing this game is slowing down. I guess I need to rebuild my economy. And is he going to fungal? Fungal harass! Oh! Goated! Lambo coming in! Oh! Can you hear him bleat? That was some absolutely goated harass. 13 SCVs getting fungled from the low ground. Ghost gets surrounded after getting caught by fungal. Lings take it out. That was absolutely beautiful. I think Lambo is looking a little bit more confident on camera after that one. On the other hand, he knows that those mules can keep on dropping, man. You ain't killing command centers. They're going to keep dropping. Lambo's droning back up, though. He's at 41 workers versus 31. Make it 46 workers. He keeps trying to neuroparasite anything he can. That scan comes in. The Infestor will waddle away underground, just kind of digging his way with that sharp head of his. Spirit has a smile on his face, guys. I don't know if you caught it. There was like a slight smirk on his face. I think Spirit at this point is appreciating just the ludicrousness of this game. I don't know if ludicrousness is a good game. Is a real word, sorry. But yeah. Oh, he's doing it again! Fungal boy, backdoor surprise style. Lambo, couple of lings and a burrowed Infestor ruining Spirit's income. Amazing usage of these late game tools. Spirit does dive in and snipe one of his hatcheries. He's going to force a scan out here as well. I mean, the lack, he's got to build a starport. A Raven, sorry. He's got to put his starport on the tech lab and build a Raven. In these low economy scenarios, it's annoying to do it, but you just have to. Like, he's just abusing burrowed Infestors. There's creep on your doorstep. You need a Raven to start clearing this stuff out. Otherwise, you're going to spend so much money on missile turrets, and they're not going to be able to cover new bases in the, like, nice abduct. Hydras deal with the Liberator. Lambo is back at 58 workers versus 36. He's building 12 Hydralisks right now. Oh. Oh my god. Okay, so Lambo's got 3 hatcheries on the left, or 2 hatcheries mining. He's got 2 new ones that are coming up as well. I actually think he's got a great income comparatively. Spirit's been rebuilding his workers. Are these guys fully rebuilding their income? Look at Spirit, he's smiling again. He's like, yes, I'm rebuilding my work account 34 minutes into a game with only a few bases left to mine. That's what we're doing right now. And the thing is, you don't really want to go past like 50 workers, I think, as either player, maybe 60 at most, like where Lambo is, because any higher than that, and you're building drones in a game where it's going to be completely mined out within the next 5 to 10 minutes. Like, there won't be any bases left. So you don't want to build too many workers because there's just no way to get value out of any extra workers that you build past a certain point in the game. There's just not enough minerals on the map. Lingbane Hydra coming in. Watch out for the Burrow Boy. Borrowed Fungal. Fungal Boys. Fungal Boys. Fungal Boys. He threatens the natural. He goes for the ambush, but catching it. Good instincts there for Spirit. He's going to have to do a nice spready. He doesn't have any medevacs, does he? He keeps spending all of his gas and starport production on Liberators. He's only got 2 medevacs. No Raven and only 2 medevacs. Oh, the Abducts. The Hydraling Bane. Look at that fungal dance. Look at those Infestors threatening. Now, you don't want to get your army fully cornered. I think Lambo should split some Ling Bane up that ramp right now. Yeah, a couple of Hydras, a lot of Lings, and then everything else stays on the low ground. EMP lands on that one Infestor, but not until it already lands a fungal. And that production getting ransacked is huge. I talked about this a few minutes ago. The production is such a weak point because even if you do this where they get over there in time to almost defend, well, guess what? You're in between him and his bases, and Spirit does not want to move into a Zerg army. Snipe does take out a fungal on the far right of our screen. The Ghost gets punished for it, but it's still a good spread of Terran units. Lambo's taking some, you know, not the best trades on the far right, but he's destroying the main for an amazing trade. Spirit's money, look at it, it's floating like crazy. He needs to rebuild all that production from scratch. Some of the buildings might get out of there by floating, but Lambo's got him pinned in a corner, and the more creep Lambo gets across this whole map, the better. Lambo also could take this base where his army is right now. There's still a few mineral patches and gases there, so if he needs that later in the game, could take that. These 2 bases on the right are pretty healthy for Spirit. He did lose 8 SCVs, it looks like. I don't know if that was more fungal harass or what. That worker line looking a bit exposed. Hydras can hit that from the low ground just barely, I think. Tanks, of course, will be able to defend, but oh my god, that's a big army. That's a big army. The tanks are sieging. The bio is splitting. He does start to pull back some of that bio. Lambo going for a huge bust from all sides. Oh my lord, massive commitment. But after taking out all the production, he knows Spirit can't be rebuilding right now. Random statistics on the screen, because why not? And the Infestor Hydra Lig looks like it's just barely enough. The fungal on the SCVs in the middle line. Oh my god. He may have won the game, but he lost a part of his soul. He's spent at least 3 Horcruxes winning that game. Well done, Lambo. Well done. He does manage to salvage a map there. My god, that was... I think both players lost a part of their soul. That was so intense. GG, well played, Lambo, for bringing out that second map in the end.